Hi, I'm Carol Kent here at the Speak Up Conference, and one of our faculty members is Brenda Yoder, who is a friend, and she's with us this afternoon. Listen to this. She is an author, a speaker, a life coach, a licensed mental health counselor, and a former teacher and school counselor. Besides that, she's married and has kids. I think that sounds like a full plate, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Well, Brenda, I love the vibrancy of your life, and what has motivated you to write and speak?
I think what's motivated me is that when I was really the busiest, even though it seems like I'm busy now, things were really starting to fall apart at home, and I felt really alone. And as I walked through that journey, I really started realizing I think other people feel alone too, because as I started writing, people started responding and saying, "You're not the only one. I feel alone." And as I've learned that people have become encouraged by me sharing my own struggles and where God is working within the struggles and how you can get to the other side, I just want people to know when life is not perfect, God is working, but we have to move forward and grab His hand and walk forward and continue walking forward no matter what happens.
Well, I know that one of your passions is helping people to be better parents.
Yes.
And I was looking at the title of your first book, Balance, Busyness, and Not Doing It All. How do you help people to find that balance when they are just trying to do all and be all and try to get the Best Parent of the Year award?
Sure. That is a struggle that never ends, I think. And my main message is priorities is not about what you're doing, but about who you're with and about your identity. And it's really about why are we so busy, and focusing on the strengths God's given us, not only in our professional world, but in our family life. And being the parent with the strengths that God has given you, and slowing down and looking at each one of your kids and what their needs are in their stage of life.
Well, I know that you live on a farm with your husband, Ron. You've been married 28 years. You have 4 kids from young adults to teens.
Yeah.
And that sounds to me like that's hands-on experience for everything you're writing and speaking about.
Yeah.
And what do you feel is the greatest challenge that most moms are dealing with in today's culture?
What I hear a lot right now is that they don't feel like they're enough, and they don't feel like they're doing enough, being enough, or if they somehow mess up with their child, it's going to end in disaster.
That's scary.
It is.
And I think many of us go into a panic mode then.
Yeah.
And I look at the title of your upcoming book, which is called Fledge. Tell us the subtitle and why this topic is so important.
Yeah, launching kids without losing your mind.
Ooh,
so I have 4 kids. They're all 3 years apart, which means that we always have someone leaving and someone coming up in the ranks. And it really is this revolving door of just craziness. And you feel stretched of trying to release one, yet you turn around and you have these younger children that need you in different ways. And a lot of people talk about the empty nest years, but nothing prepares us for the years between the full house and the empty nest.
Well, Brenda, I know that we have many people viewing who are struggling with kids who are on their gadgets and on their technology all the time. You're a social media expert in addition to everything else you do. You are teaching that at the Speak Up Conference this week.
Right.
What advice would you give to parents who need to figure out the balance of how much time to let their kids play with their equipment and their phones and everything they have going, and how can you do it in a way that they will still love you? Will you look at the camera and tell those moms out there to have hope?
It's about relationship. So my kids are all 3 years apart, and social media has changed, and it comes down to relationship and biblical principles, but looking at it within the context of each child.
And so everyone responds differently.
Yes, and so we have, depending on who your child is, you might have different guidelines for one child because of their maturity than you might for another child at that particular age. So it's all about context, but it comes back to relationship and biblical principles. It's not apart from anything else we're doing in parenting.
Well, I know one of the things that you are very good at is life coaching. And so I also want those watching this interview to know that in addition to reading your books and inviting you to speak at their events, that you are available to be a life coach.
Yeah.
And where can they go on the web to find you?
They can find me at brendayoder.com or on my Instagram page, Brenda Yoder Speaks, or my Facebook page, Brenda Yoder Speaker.
Well, I am excited about what God is doing, and I certainly want to encourage you to go to Brenda's website. Check out Balance Busyness and Not Doing It All, and be encouraged that you can be a God-honoring mom and hold on to your own sanity. Thanks, Brenda, for being my guest.
Thank you so much, Carol.